All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Today, you're going to need the same things again. You're going to need the journal, you're going to need the book, and you're going to need a pencil. But today, before we start reading, we're going to go over the setting, and we're going to go over Bud's rules. Because now you're going to start reading on your own, but I need to tell you a little bit more about the setting to begin with. On the back of the book, it says it's 1936, Flint, Michigan. Okay. The author is assuming you know what the world was like in 1936 in Flint, Michigan. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the setting here, just so you can understand what I'm talking about. In 1936, the Great Depression was on in the United States. That means 25% of Americans had no job. Let me say that again. 1/4 of the United States had no job. It was the largest economic depression that we had ever had. So imagine all the adults in your life and count 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fourth one doesn't have a job. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fourth one doesn't have a job, right? That's a lot of people out of a job. And if there's a lot of people out of a job, there's a lot of children with no place to go, no food to eat, they're kind of left in orphanages, kind of left roaming the streets, okay? Enter Buddy. That's the world that he's in. But the next question on your journal says, what was happening in the world during this time? So if you were an adult in your 20s in this world at the time, then your whole job would be trying to find a job. You would be trying to pay taxes. Maybe you'd be getting ready to be drafted for World War II. Maybe you were already in World War I. So when we're talking about 1936, one World War had just ended. The Second World War is just about to get started. The president at the time was Herbert Hoover when this book was happening. And Herbert Hoover, I gotta say, was probably one of the most hated presidents in our history. Now, he was a very smart guy, a very intelligent guy, really full of ethics, but he didn't give the people what they wanted. And what the people wanted was money now. And he said the only way that we can get money is if we take loans on from other countries or we put ourselves into debt. And he wasn't willing to do that. But what the people said is, you have a solution and you're not taking it, right? I need food on my table. I don't care about the future. I don't care about 50 years from now. And you'll see some references to President Herbert Hoover, in this book. The president that came after Herbert Hoover was a record-breaking president. He was FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And he was such a beloved president that he served not once, not twice, but 4 times. He was in office longer than any other president. And in fact, after FDR died in office, round about the time of Pearl Harbor, they made a law that says you can only be president for 2 terms because some people's entire lifetime was one president. FDR was absolutely beloved, and you will hear some references to him in Bud Not Buddy. But that doesn't mean FDR was the best president we ever had. He just gave the people what they wanted, even if what they wanted was getting into deeper debt. Right? So that's going to be up to your opinion. So let's bring it back to talking about the little boy in this book. A little boy named Bud. And the last few notes I need to say about his world was that his mother would have watched women gain the vote. He would have never heard of Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King was still a teenager at the time. He would have heard of the royal family in England, and the current reigning queen, Queen Elizabeth, had not yet received her crown. So those things kind of let you have more of a frame of reference of the setting of Bud Not Buddy. So now your assignment is now to start reading. I would have this page of your journal out as you start reading. The first thing you're looking for is Bud's rules, and he has a series of rules that he keeps to himself in order to survive in this world I just described to you, in order to thrive and do better in this world. The other sheet that you need to be looking at is character analysis. On this worksheet, you're going to be looking at what kind of person is Bud. And we're going to be doing that in a separate lesson. I just wanted you to be aware that it's there. So go ahead and start reading the book.